the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority, it is a pleasure and honor to welcome you all to the first, the most progressive, and the most beautiful free port in the country, Subic Bay. We at SBMA are delighted to have you as visitors for the first AD Summit. It is truly a landmark event. And yesterday, Matek made a mistake. She said that this is the first, she hopes that this will be the first of many AD Summits in the future. I said you forgot to add, it is the first of many AD Summits in Subic. Anyway, following the theme of our conference, I would like to enlighten you briefly about what the Subic Bay Freeport is all about. I understand I've only been given 5 minutes to talk, but since I'm providing these facilities free of charge, I am sure the organizers will not castigate me if I go over that time limit. So here's my pitch. Subic Bay is the first free port in the country. We trace our history back to 1884, when King Alphonse of Spain declared and set up the Spanish Naval Station. The remnant of that Spanish Naval Station is the Spanish Gate, which last year was declared by the National Historical Commission as a historical landmark. In 1899, after the Spanish-American War, the Americans came to Subic. And over the past 90 years, they built it into the largest U.S. military base outside of the continental United States. In 1992, in November specifically, November 24, 1992, after the Philippine Senate abrogated the Philippine-U.S. military bases agreement, the last U.S. Marine left on the USS Bellewood. At the same year, the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority was formed and was mandated to convert the military base into a center for maritime, logistics, commercial, industrial, and tourism, and to provide jobs for Filipinos. Since 1991, in the history of SBMA, the Philippines has evolved into being the most progressive free port in the country. In its 22 years of existence, SBMA has generated over $9 billion in investments. We have 1,800 locators engaged in various fields of endeavor, starting with maritime, commercial, electronics manufacturing, tourism. One of the Philippines' largest foreign investors, Hanjin Shipyard, has decided to locate in Subic. And because of this, the Philippines has jumped to become the 4th largest shipbuilder in the world, after China, Korea, and Japan. So, the Philippines, as you know, stands at the center of the radar screen of the foreign investors. And we here in the Freeport, on the ground, we have experienced a tremendous growth in our investments. Last year, our investments jumped and registered a record high of 27 billion pesos. This year, as of the first 3 months, we already have approved investments worth 13 billion. So the future is very bright for Subic. We are not only surviving, but we are thriving successfully. For your information, when I was appointed by the President in November of 2011, for your information, this is my first And considering the work that I've done over the past 3 years, I can assure you this will be my last job in government. As I was saying, we entered in November 11. The losses of SBMA had reached a cumulative of 8 billion pesos. In 2011 alone, the loss of SBMA was 1.2 billion pesos. Remember, the Subic Bay Freeport does not receive a single cent from the national government. We live and die by the money that we earn through leasing out lands, through our port operations. And I'm happy to report to you, over the past 2 years, the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority has turned in a record performance. Especially last year, 2013, marked a record in the history of SBMA. We registered our highest revenue, our highest operating income, and our highest net income in the 21-year history of the Subic Bay Freeport. When I came in September of 2011, I was appointed actually chairman in June of 2011. We had a cash balance of around 200 million pesos. And we were scrounging around for funds just to pay our payroll. I'm happy to report to you that over the past 2 years, because of the accumulated profits we've made, SBMA now has only 1.6 billion cash in the bank. And therefore, the board has approved this year a phenomenal, the largest single capital expenditure budget for SBMA's 21-year history. We are allocating 620 million pesos for capital expenditures to improve infrastructure. We are going to renovate this convention center. We're going to build new piers and roads. We're going to put up more tourist facilities to make Freeport achieve the vision that it was meant to achieve. By 2030, the vision of Subic is that we will become one of the premier freeports in Asia. Lastly, Subic is the most beautiful freeport in the country, modesty aside. We have an area of 67,000 hectares, an area larger than Singapore. We have thousands of hectares covered with lush tropical rainforest, where you can go ATV, you can go mountain biking, you can go hiking. We also have the pristine waters of SBMA, of Subic Bay rather. You see the beauty of Subic Bay as discovered by the Spanish. It is a very deep harbor, and therefore it is not only secure because we have Grande Island at the mouth, but it is a deep harbor, and therefore the very large ships can come into Subic Bay. When you look out into the bay later on today, you will see a ship with 5 cranes on board. This is the largest ship in the world, with a deadweight ton capacity of 440,000 tons. So you can imagine the depth that it needs to be able to operate here in Subic. Because it is the most beautiful freeport in the country, tourism plays a very, very important part in the activities of the Freeport. As you know, Subic is the theme park capital of the Philippines. We have 4 major theme parks here: Ocean Adventure, Subic Safari, Treetop Adventure, and recently opened Chess Camp. Last year, 1.2 million visitors visited these theme parks. We are also promoting Subic, and we are known as the triathlon capital of the Philippines. For the past 21 years, TRAP has held both the national and international triathlon championships here in Subic Bay. On June 25, the Century Tuna, one of the premier triathlon events in the country, they've been with us for the past 2 years, and they will hold the triathlon on June 25. We are also known as the sailing capital of the Philippines. There recently concluded, we had the Hong Kong Subic Rolex race. We also had the Subic Boracay race, the Commodore's Cup, which is counted as part of the Asian Sailing Championships. And of course, we have MICE. meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions. That is why we are very, very happy that Matek, Alex, Norman, the organizers, have chosen Subic to be the venue for this first Ad Summit, because this lends credence to the fact that Subic has been declared by the Department of Tourism as one of the top 10 tourist destinations in the country. We have also been declared by DOT as the premier convention capital of the Philippines. I'm sorry, of Central Luzon. But for your information, this convention hall is the largest convention center outside of Metro Manila. And that's why we pay host. 2 weeks ago, we had 10,000 students here for the National Press Con and National DepEd Student Awards. We had also the regional gathering of the Iglesia ni Cristo, also around 10,000 delegates. So we are no stranger to hosting large conventions such as this. But of course, the more often you come here, the happier we will be. So I would just like to say that Subic Bay stands ready, willing, and able to host future Ad Summits. And in closing, I just want to leave you with 2 pieces of advice that I always give to locators or visitors and tourists to the Freeport. Number 1, while we are a secured Freeport, secured meaning we are a fenced area of 13,000 hectares. As you know, as a Freeport, we have our own SPLA police. So if you ever encounter an emergency, or even if you need information, we have a 24/7, very active 911 emergency line. On your cell phone, dial 09111, 3 ones, not more. Of course, you know who will answer if you dial more. Pizza Hut just opened last week. Lastly, Subic is one of the few, very, very few places in the country where people follow traffic rules. So when it says stop on the street, we mean a full stop, not a California rolling stop. You will be caught if you're not wearing your seatbelt. If you swerve out of line, you will be caught. I myself have been caught twice already. So, lastly, I just want to say that I hope we are all enlightened with this awesome conference. As you said, we have a rock star lineup of speakers, and I hope we all get enlightened in the latest that's happening so that we can improve our advertising services as to the best level that we can. But, para doon sa maglalakwatsa, and I know that there are many of you, we have a variety of places that you can visit. I just want to mention that a year and a half ago, we opened the Ayala Harbor Point Mall. It has 300 stores. It has 30 restaurants, 4 cinemas. It's a great place to go. It looks like Greenbelt 5. So for the organizers, I think you should be more strict on your attendance checks. So the important thing is, while we're enlightened, I think I would like to say that we must also have fun. Conventions are supposed to be fun events. And as we say in Subic, as you can see up there, our tourism slogan, we always say, it's more fun, tastic in Subic. Good morning and thank you.